Thank you for joining in for today's session. As you know, today's session is all about building a portfolio as a new writer. So, when you start on the content writing journey, especially as a freelancer, having a good portfolio means a lot. It means really a lot. It is the best way to land upon clients and to attract and get clients and to convert potential clients into long lasting clients. So let's not waste more time. We'll get started. So before getting started, I'll tell you about myself. My name is Janvi and I'm a freelance content writer. So I've been freelancing for pretty some time now and I have faced a lot of difficulties, ups and downs and learned a lot. So here in the sessions which I conduct roughly in a month and I help young new writers who are starting their journey, their careers in content writing as freelancers or full times. I just help them, give them a little initial start, which I received from someone, and it's my way of giving back. So let's get started. So, can you guys see my screen? Is my screen visible? So I have been writing since a long time. To be honest, I've been writing since my childhood. I used to write fiction stories when I was a kid in a school. Proper content writing has been around a year. So is my screen visible to you guys? Okay, so let's get started. Building a portfolio as a new writer. So first, I like to tell you that building a portfolio is very important. It is your portfolio which is going to be the basis, which is going to be the thing you're going to show to your clients so that they believe in your skills. So without wasting further time, let me get started. So, what we'll be discussing in today's session, we'll be discussing what is a portfolio, why is a portfolio important, how to build a portfolio from scratch when you're a complete newbie. Bonus, I'll also be telling you how I got my first client and how you can get your first client. After that, we'll be having a Q&A session where I'll be clearing any of the doubts which you have. So, let's get started. What is a portfolio? To put it in as simple words as possible, it is the collection of your best writing samples. So, portfolio is not a big deal. It sounds like a heavy word, but it is just a collection of your writing samples, the best writing samples. And why do we call it a sample? Because you're going to show it to the client as a sample of the entire writing skill you have, based on which they will be selecting or deselecting you for the project they have. So it is a collection of the best writing samples you have written so far. Why is it important? A portfolio is very important because it demonstrates your writing skills. See, I am a content writer. How will you know I am a content writer until I don't tell you? And if you have not come across me, if you have never spoken to me, you'll never know how good my English is, how good command I have over the language, how good can I write and present the facts. So portfolio is one which is going to demonstrate my writing skills. When you go through my portfolio, you'll see that I have different writing style samples in it. And based on those writing samples, you can come to know that are do I have the skill set which you want or not. If you are the client who wants to hire me, it helps understand your writing style. So every project requires a different writing style. Writing style varies, and every person has a different writing style. A portfolio helps us to understand what the writing style is, or whether that writing style fits into the client's needs or not. What are they looking for? Does it fit into it or not? Our portfolio helps in attracting and impressing potential clients. Now, suppose someone has reached out to you, and if you don't have a portfolio, imagine if you're a client, you're reaching out to me, and all I send you is a Google Doc file where I've written something, I guess some 2-3 pages. I've just written down content. It might be the best content I would have written, but still, it is not going to attract you or not going to impress you when you're a client and you want to hire me, because it is very vague. When it comes to portfolio, it helps in attracting and impressing, because a portfolio, as it is a heavy word, it is also a good way of showing your writing skills. And when someone sees your portfolio, they are bound to attract and impress because of the way you have presented it. That doesn't mean that every kind of portfolio will impress the client. You have to have and follow certain measures when it comes to portfolio. It depicts professionalism. As I said, if I give as a client, if you approach me and I just give you a Google Doc, it shows a point of carelessness also. Until I have not been asked for a sample, it shows a little bit of vagueness if I just give you a Google Doc. But when it comes to portfolio, if I give you a link to my portfolio, it depicts the professionalism I have, the seriousness I have regarding my work as a content writer. It also shows what I can offer as a client, what you can offer as a content writer, as a freelancer to your client. So it is very important. I'll repeat the sentences because it demonstrates your writing skills. It helps us understand the writing style. It attracts and impresses the potential clients. It depicts professionalism. It also shows what you can offer to your client. So it is very important, and it is the first step of getting started with the content writing journey. So content writing journey actually starts before the portfolio, when you start writing. And the journey of getting clients, the first basic step to that journey is having a good portfolio. Am I clear? Am I audible? Am I going too fast? Type in the chat box. Let me know if you're okay with the speed. Okay, thank you so much. So then let's go to how to build a portfolio from scratch. When you're new, when you're just starting your content writing journey, portfolio is a very confusing thing. When I just started out, I was very confused. I didn't know what should I put in my portfolio, what should I not put in my portfolio, how should I make a portfolio, where should I make a portfolio. Everything was so vague, but I learned from different things, and these are the 5 steps which describes it in all. First, define your niche. As a content writer, you need to have niche you're going to write in. It doesn't mean you confine yourself just to one niche. We can have varied different niches, but you cannot write in all the niches. So what is a niche basically? Niche is a subject. It's a topic on which you're going to write. Not topic exactly, a subject on which you're going to write. Niches vary a lot. It can be from lifestyle, health, physical fitness, mental health. It can be religion, mythology, psychology. There are lots of niches out there in the market. When you're just starting out, I will recommend pick three. Pick three of the niches you are the best in, or you love to write about. See, you just cannot pick a niche which you don't know anything about. You should know about that niche. You should love to write on that niche.
Ma'am,
Yes?
uh, can I ask you something like in this regard? Sorry.
Yeah. Carry on.
Ma'am, I want to ask that like you have said to build a portfolio, okay? So
Yeah.
what happened is like
If you have
what
some,
is this actually mean?
okay, so you just joined in right now. I guess you missed the initial few minutes.
Yeah,
Okay. So if everyone is fine, I'll go through the previous slides once again, in short, for the ones who have just joined
yeah,
now. Are you guys clear?
Yes, ma'am. Not a problem with you, ma'am.
No, I have no issues. For me, my focus is for you to understand. I am
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
the session for you to understand. So if you guys have no issue, I'll just glance once. Sure. Then let me go one. So what is a portfolio? Portfolio is the collection of your best writing samples. Short, simple, sweet, everything is defined in this sentence. It is a collection of your best writing samples. If you're a writer, it is writing samples. If you're a photographer, then it is the photographs you have clicked. So portfolio is the collection of the samples for which you're going to show to your client to get work. And it is the best samples you have as a content writer, the best samples you have written. And we also then glance to why is portfolio important. It is important because it demonstrates the writing skills. It helps the client understand your writing style. It attracts and impresses the potential clients. It depicts professionalism and it also shows what you can offer. So this is very important. When you're new, you don't have an authority, you don't have a personal brand. In such situation, the portfolio is the first impression for your client of yours. So that will be your first impression. And as they say, first impression is the last impression. So your portfolio brings in that impression and it establishes you as an expert. I will not say a complete expert, but a person who knows what he is doing. I guess I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's
One more thing,
continue.
ma'am.
I'll take
Like,
up the questions in the last in the Q&A. Will that
yes, ma'am. Yes.
do?
Okay. Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, ma'am.
the
Okay.
flow is going to go.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So, building a portfolio from scratch. The first thing to this is defining the niche. When you're new, I will tell you to select three niches. Three such subjects which you love writing about and which you know about. So when I started, I took three subjects as first, marketing. As I am a BBA student, Bachelor of Business Administration, I had knowledge in marketing. Then the second thing which I chose was personality development because I loved reading about it and I also loved writing about it. The third thing which I chose was mental health. So these three were the niches I took up when I started as a new freelance content writer. You can take up the niches which resonate to you, but don't take more than three when you're starting out. It is going to confuse a lot in your brain. Start with three, learn everything little. When you get projects out of your niches, work on them when you're new. With time, with year and half or 2 years, within 2 years when you're in this field, you will come down to though you'll understand the niches which you love writing about and which you don't like writing about. Don't confine yourself to one particular thing when you're starting out new. Am I clear? So first, define your niche. Second, write articles in those niches. Read more about the niches you have selected. Start writing long form articles. If you're a content writer, write long form articles, write in-depth articles on those niches to see what people are researching, what people want to know about those niches, and write articles. And when you're new, I would suggest you to start with medium.com because it is a very simple place to start from. It doesn't have a lot of technicalities. You don't need to know much about it. You can, if you don't know anything, you just start off there. It's a very simple, has a very simple user interface. So I suggested if you find something else better, you can go with it. You can don't restrict yourself to what I'm suggesting. What I am suggesting is based on what I have learned from. And I suggest medium because it has a very simple interface and you don't have to break your heads and scratch your heads to learn about it when you're just starting out. So write articles, have add images in it, and write a proper blog. So now articles, and when I told you to write long form articles, first you have to make sure what is your niche. First this topic, and then what kind of content you want to write. So content writing has various different types. It can be business writing, technical writing, academic writing. There are different things. There are different types of content. You want to write social media posts, you want to write blogs, you want to write email content, you want to write newsletters. There are a lot of different things. So first start with one thing. Choose a thing. If you do, when you're starting out, it will be difficult for you to know which is easy, which is not. Start with one thing, stick with it for 1, 2, 3 weeks, learn about it, go to next thing, learn about it. So initial, I said 6 months of your content writing journey should be about learning new things. More than attracting clients, you should first build a good foundation. So once you have a good foundation, you can build a building on it. You can also build 25 stories building. It will not, affect if the foundation is not good, and if you keep on building over it, it will fall down. So initial 6 months, I would tell you that give on research, give on reading, give on writing more about content writing. So after having your articles written, have all the links ready. So I would suggest is always make a Google sheet or an Excel sheet which has all the links of all the articles you have written till date. So it will avoid misplacing and you'll have all the links ready when anyone needs it. Then build a portfolio website. Having a portfolio website is very important. So people usually say that it's good to have a website as your portfolio, but when you're starting out, the technicalities of websites are a lot. It is not easy to set up a WordPress, website or any website and get started with it. So for initially, you can go for other portfolio websites which offer you free, and they're both free and paid versions. So you can start. First, LinkedIn. As a content writer, you need to have your presence on LinkedIn, where you can showcase your writing skills when you're new. Apart from LinkedIn, you can also use Journo Portfolio and the Freelancer by Contently. Apart from that, if you go Google, you'll find a lot of portfolio websites. You can research a bit. You can go with whatever you like. I prefer these two because they have very simple interface. You don't need to scratch your head. You can easily get started. Journoportfolio.com and the Freelancer by Contently. So this has a very minimalistic, simple user interface. You can go ahead with it. And once all the links are ready, you have to just add those links in your portfolio. Your portfolio website will be ready, and then you're ready to showcase your portfolio to the world, to your clients. This portfolio you can add it to your LinkedIn, and then it will be very easy for you to show it to your clients. So once your portfolio is ready, you need to showcase it, because if you don't showcase, no one is going to know that you are the content writer out here. If I had not put on my LinkedIn post as I'm going to conduct a session today, you guys would have not known about it. As simple as that. If you don't showcase your skill, the world is not going to know about it. Once after building your portfolio, once you showcase it, you need to refine your portfolio. Your portfolio is not, the once you prepared it, it doesn't mean that it's done. You need to refine your portfolio. As and when you keep writing a lot, your skills are going to improve. When your skills are going to improve, you're going to write articles which is going to be better than what you had previously written. So the previously written articles should be removed and the new articles have to be put in your portfolio. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll continue. So I have a few tips for beginners. First, do not include everything you write. Don't make this mistake. Suppose I have written 10 articles, I'm going to add all the 10 articles in my portfolio. No, add only the best articles which you feel are best and give in-depth knowledge of your skills and your writing style. And it also showcases how much you know about the topic. So include always the best writing samples in your portfolio. Second, it is always a work in progress. As I said, do not just make a portfolio and forget. It is always a work in progress. You have to keep on updating your portfolio as and how your writing skills get on updating. Third, keep it decluttered. Do not just dump everything. No, organize your portfolio. There are a lot of various free themes. You can check it out. You can see which showcases it better. Where if you as a client or as a person open a website, how should it be? Put it on that way. Don't try to overstuff it. Keep it simple, minimal, and then include the niches you want to work in. Don't write the articles which you have written in niches you don't want to work in. Do not put them in your portfolio. Don't make this mistake. Suppose you just took up a new project, you wrote on that project, but while that you understood that that is not something you want to pursue long term, or that is not the niche you want to write on a regular day. So not everyone is comfortable with every niches. So the niches you're not comfortable with, don't include them in your portfolio. Only include the niches you love to write on. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So before going to the further slide, I would like to show you a few things. So this was my first ever portfolio. This is journoportfolio.com. You can see this was my first portfolio which I made. Simple, and it just has only 6 articles. Just 6 articles, nothing else. I prefer having minimalistic views, so I do not add a lot. And this portfolio has helped me land a lot of clients. So always remember, the simple you keep, the better it's going to be. So just this much, and you can see this and this, the 2 articles of handling stress and marketing, both are written on medium.com. So you don't always have to publish your article on someone else's website. When you're new, if you've not got any project, you can just write it on medium and add it to your portfolio. It will work. Hmm. So don't worry about your portfolio is not good enough, it doesn't have a lot of work. All that is important is to showcase your skills, and until and unless your portfolio is able to showcase your writing skills, it is more than enough. Do not worry more about designs and animations and stuff. Keep it as simple as possible and just get started. So any questions until now regarding portfolio? Anything you want to ask, you want to know? One thing I also tell, that once you have started with content writing, it's been 1.5 2 years with content writing, then you should go and think about having your own website. Until then, it is okay to have just a portfolio, but after that, as the more you gain experience, you can also start showing your uh, work samples as in your website, where you can regularly write and also showcase it. I'd like to show.
Ma'am, I have doubts, but I want to wait till the end. So,
Okay, sure. So this is my website currently. So now if this, and when you compare this, which one looks more better? Obviously, a website gives more professionalism. So start with a portfolio, but once you have, you get established yourself as a content writer, I will also suggest you to get started with your own website. So let me continue. How I got my first client. How many of you here want to know how I landed upon my first client as a freelance content writer? Okay, so when I tell you my story, you're going to not exactly believe on it. So first, when I got my first client, I literally had no portfolio. I had not written anything before on content. Like I had written a single article, and that is when I landed on my first play paying client. Can you believe that? I know it is a little hard to swallow, but this is the way. How did I do it? The most important thing, network. Now you might have heard your net worth is your network, and it is true. I got my first client through referral. My distant cousin is a content writer. She used to work as a full time content writer, and she had a friend who was just building up a new website, and he needed a content writer to write the website content, articles and blogs. And my cousin knew how good I was in English and how I used to, write a few things, write a few stories here and there. And she suggested my name. So when you get, through a referral, because they both were friends and he knew her. So he had that trust. I didn't have to build that trust with the client. The trust was already built. And so he just asked me a sample. He didn't ask me. At that time, I didn't even use LinkedIn. I had just, I guess, only 10 followers on LinkedIn. I didn't even use LinkedIn. He didn't ask any of it. He didn't ask for my portfolio. He didn't ask for my LinkedIn. He didn't even ask anything. He just asked a 500 word sample. And he said, if I like it, even I'll approve and I will pay for you. Pay for it. It was just that simple. I wrote a 500 word sample. He liked the way I wrote and he instantly approved of me for writing on his website. But yes, the pay was very less. When I started with 35 paisa per word. So if you're thinking that you're going to land on high paying clients when you just start off, that is not possible because everyone knows, it takes time to learn about the industry. So first, when you get started, you can start with low praise. But once you have established yourselves, you have good portfolio, you have enough experience to show, then you can start charging your rates. But initially, you will have to you know get settled with what your clients want to offer, and that's okay. I see a lot of people out there on LinkedIn or social media. They say it's an insult to writers to write below this page, to write me charge a minimum of 1 rupee per word. There's nothing as such. Suppose if today someone gives me that regularly, if you write content, you can just I'll just compromise for a little pay if I get regular flow of work. Even that is important. Yes, they everyone says that don't work below this rate, but I would like to tell you that there's nothing like that. No, you can, when you're just starting out, you can start at any price. What is important is to just get started. So that was my story of how I got my first client. And I want you to take away from this is referrals. Tell your friends, tell your families, put it out on your social media that you are a content writer. See, not everyone, if you have say 100 contacts, not everyone is going to help. But even if one or two, remember that you're a content writer. And if they have come across someone and they refer you, the word of mouth referral works way more than anything else in this world. That is the most important thing. Remember that. So spread out a word among your family and friends that you're a content writer, among your teachers. On start, get started with LinkedIn. Showcase your writing skills on LinkedIn. Put on a little post, write on articles, and with time, within 6 months, I can tell you you're going to land new clients. It is not as difficult as it seems. The only problem that is getting started. Once you get started, there's nothing that can stop you. What did you do for your first work? I wrote blogs. My first work I wrote about religion. I'll show you my portfolio. Um, See these blogs on Jainism, on Hinduism, and I wrote on various different religions as well. Those were the blogs which I wrote on my for my first client on their website. So how can you get your first client? It is through referrals. The referral is the best way when you're just starting out. So suppose if one of my friend is a graphic designer, and if I know and I'm just talking and I'm a content writer, I meet a lot of people, I talk to different people. Even I may need a graphic designer some point, for designing the images for my blogs. So when I meet different people, I talk to different people. If someone needs graphic designer, the first name that will click in my brain is of my friend, because I know he's doing graphic designing. I will recommend. So that is referral. That is the power of referral. So spread it among your family, among your friends, showcase your skills. When you consistently showcase your skills, the posts which I used to make on LinkedIn, I used to put on my WhatsApp story. So my friends, and they used to be what to say, regularly reminded that I'm a content writer. So when they come across something, when they talk to some person, my name clicks. Whenever content writing, if they hear, my name will click in their brain, because not everyone has relatives who are content writers. Am I making sense? So then you just get started, spread out the words among the people you know, and then slowly it will just compound. So time for Q&A. The questions you have, you can put it on. Any doubts, any queries?
Okay, so I have lots of doubts.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's not a problem. Okay, so first thing is, okay, I started this thing 2 months back. Okay, ma'am. So
Okay.
what I did was, okay, I didn't know whether to go for, like, I have an MCM, Master of Computer Application, to go for the technical writing or to go for any other niche. Okay,
Okay.
so I just planned out, okay, I should not go for technical one. I should first go for non-technical one only, and then I made a lot of connections on LinkedIn. I saw lots of posts and all that, and then I wrote on blogger.com, and I
Okay.
wrote
Yeah,
around
even
two
that is a
posts.
good site to start with.
Yeah, and then I applied on Internshala.
Okay.
Apart from that, like, I don't know how to get start work. Like, I don't know how to get a client. Like a lot of people say Upwork, but a lot of other people also say that Upwork is not for freshers.
Okay. So to get started,
So
see, first you are confused between should you write technically or not. So for
no,
that,
I am sure about that I should write non-technical only. But in
you
that also there are various niches. Like
okay.
like you said, na, personality development or management. But
Hmm.
personality development is, I think, is limited. No,
See, first thing, don't get confused. Don't stick onto yourself that this thing has scope, this thing does not have scope. Thing that is important is the knowledge on the topic you have. You are from a technical background, and if you have a good hold, you can continue. If you like writing on technical topics, you can surely continue as a technical writer. Everything has a lot of subdivisions in it, but once you get started, it will be very easier for you. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell?
yes, ma'am, but I'm
Yeah.
not good in technical, so I'm not going for that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's completely your choice. So you can,
I just have,
pick up a niche, start
yeah.
writing about it. Pick up one niche, start writing more and more about it. I'll share with you some articles I've written on selecting a niche. Go about it. For you, I would tell use the trial and error method. Work on different things. With time, you'll understand which is the best. So until then, showcase yourself as a content writer on LinkedIn, make connections, talk to them, find out who your potential client can be. Now, as in my case, I'll give you an example. I'm a content writer, but I have a good knowledge of digital marketing as well. I've done a proper, internship, a course on digital marketing. And I know that digital marketers are the ones who require content writers the most. Blog writers, digital marketers require them the most. So most of the people I connect with are digital marketers, because digital marketers don't have time to sit down and write content. So I help them in writing their content. In the similar way, find out who will be interested in having your content. So once you understand who your potential client can be, then you can, target them, showcase your skills in that particular field, and they will understand. Am I making sense?
Like for for example, ma'am, like if I write about motivational quotes or motivational blogs, okay,
Hmm.
I'm just taking an example. I'm saying that, so who should I target? Like if I written about 5 posts on Blogger, then how should I pitch, or whom should I connect to on LinkedIn?
Connect to other motivational speakers, bloggers. Motivational speakers don't have the time to sit down and write motivational content for websites. So the industry you want to get in, start connecting with those industries on LinkedIn. And then with time, you'll be able to land clients. Once you start connecting with the people there, you'll understand the mindset. When you regularly see their blogs, their posts, you'll see how they are, conversing, what kind of content they are putting out. You can start connecting with them, talk to them, tell them that I'm a new content writer. I want to get into this field. What are your views about it? Make connections, talk to them, and people are always ready to help. Out of 100 people you reach out, 90 of them will always be ready to, to provide some kind of guidance here and there. On LinkedIn, I'm talking specifically. So you can just start connecting with your niche, start conversing with them, start talking with them, ask them how did they get there, and you'll get an idea.
Can't I,
I'll have
can't I
to
do this vice versa type of thing?
yeah, I have. I'm sorry, I have less than a minute, and the meeting are going to is going to